Hi, I'm Dr. Michael Reeves. For more than 25 years, I've helped older adults manage muscle pain and mobility issues. And if you're over 70 or love someone who is, there's something important you need to know. That dull, constant ache in your muscles? It's not always just age. Sometimes it's your body trying to warn you. Most people ignore it. Today, I'll show you why you shouldn't. Sababas leum biraden eklium de sun massage bu calcin. Section 1. Vitamin D and B12 deficiencies. I remember the first time I felt that deep, persistent ache in my legs. At first, I blamed it on gardening too long or standing for hours. But even when I rested, the pain lingered. After weeks, my wife nudged me to see my doctor. I brushed it off, but eventually I went in mostly to prove nothing was wrong. Blood tests revealed I was severely lacking in vitamin D and B12, two nutrients essential for muscle strength and nerve health. My doctor wasn't surprised. He told me nearly 27% of older adults have deficiencies without even knowing. It was shocking, but it also gave me hope. Vitamin D helps muscles absorb calcium and support bone function. B12 protects nerve endings and helps keep communication flowing between muscles and the brain. When they're low, your whole system starts to slow down silently, but powerfully. That explained the strange weakness I'd been feeling. After starting daily supplements and adjusting my diet, the difference was night and day. The ache eased. I could walk longer. I even slept better. It was like someone turned the power back on in my body. I hadn't realized how drained I was until I wasn't anymore. You're already ahead of the curve just by paying attention. Most people never connect nutrition to pain, but you just did. If this resonates, let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and stay informed because knowledge like this can change lives. And you just proved it. Section 2. Inflammation-related conditions, polymyalgia rheumatica. It started slowly, just a little stiffness in my shoulders. I thought I'd slept wrong, but the stiffness didn't leave. Each morning, it spread further, to my neck, my hips, even my wrists. It took me longer and longer to get out of bed. One day, I couldn't lift my arms to put on a shirt. I wasn't sore from activity. I was sore from doing nothing. I told my doctor, half expecting him to say it was just old age. But instead, he said, "This sounds like polymyalgia rheumatica." I'd never heard the term. Turns out, about 18% of older adults with chronic morning stiffness are dealing with this exact issue. It's an inflammatory condition. Your immune system attacks your own muscles and joints, not violently, but consistently. And the pain? It isn't sharp. It's dull, constant, and exhausting. Many people dismiss it for months, even years, thinking they just need to stretch more or sleep better. I started treatment with low-dose corticosteroids. The results were incredible. Within a week, I could lift my arms again. I wasn't pain-free, but I was functional. The stiffness that made me feel 90 years old slowly faded. I got part of my life back, and I wasn't alone. I got part of my life back. If you're feeling something similar, remember catching it early makes all the difference. Section 3. Neuropathy and nerve-related muscle pain. The pain started in my feet. At first, it felt like pins and needles tingly, almost like my limbs were waking up from sleep. But then it escalated. Burning, numbness, a deep ache at night that made it hard to sleep. I assumed it was poor circulation or maybe just tired legs. I had no idea my nerves were silently suffering. I wasn't diabetic, so I dismissed the idea of neuropathy. But my doctor explained that over 14% of older adults suffer from nerve-related muscle pain not caused by diabetes. Spinal compression, nutritional deficiencies, even minor injuries from years ago can catch up. My nerves were sending signals. I just didn't understand the language yet. The hardest part wasn't the pain, it was the loss of confidence. I walked slower, hesitated on stairs, held onto rails in public. I felt older than I was. But once I started treatment, physical therapy, B12 supplementation, posture correction, things changed. The pain didn't vanish overnight, but I felt in control again. If you're feeling numbness, tingling, or strange muscle sensations, don't ignore it. Your nerves are not just wires, they're your connection to movement, sensation, life. Getting checked early can mean everything. And just like I did, you can learn to listen before the signals become screams. Section 4. Medication side effects causing muscular discomfort. I was on medication for high cholesterol like so many others my age. One evening, after climbing just a few stairs, my legs cramped hard, like they were seizing from the inside. I blamed dehydration. But the pain kept coming back, deep and sharp. When I brought it up to my doctor, he nodded knowingly. "Statins," he said. "They're helpful, but they don't come without risks." Turns out, around 23% of older adults on statins report muscle pain or weakness. That's nearly 1 in 4 people quietly suffering. The mistake many of us make? We suffer in silence. We assume it's just our age. But sometimes, it's the medicine that's meant to help us. My doctor switched me to a different type, and just like that, the pain began to fade. Now I pay close attention to how my body responds to every pill. I ask questions. I track symptoms. Because your body keeps the score, and sometimes medication needs adjusting. Don't push through the pain. Speak up. Section 5. Sedentary lifestyle and muscle loss, sarcopenia. After retiring, I imagined peaceful days filled with reading, long lunches, and slow mornings. And for a while, it was lovely. But something changed. Carrying groceries became harder. I'd climb stairs and feel winded. One day, I sat down to tie my shoes and struggled to stand up again. I hadn't gained weight. I hadn't injured myself. But I was noticeably weaker. My legs felt like they didn't belong to me. My doctor used a word I'd never heard before, sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle mass and strength due to aging and inactivity. He said it affects about 29% of adults over 70, yet most people don't even know it exists. I was stunned. How could sitting still cause such damage? He explained that muscles are like currency. You either spend them or lose them. And every day I chose the couch over movement, my body quietly paid the price. I didn't need to become an athlete, I just needed to move more, consistently. I began with light exercises, standing heel raises, chair squats, gentle resistance bands. Just 15 minutes a day at first. Slowly my strength returned. I started sleeping better, standing taller, feeling steadier on my feet. The transformation wasn't dramatic, but it was life-changing. And here's the part that surprised me most. My mood improved. Moving didn't just help my body, it helped my mind. I felt more in control, less fragile, more alive. Sarcopenia had crept up quietly. But now, I was reclaiming my strength, one step, one stretch, one breath at a time. If you felt yourself slowing down, losing strength, or hesitating before a staircase, please know you're not alone. And more importantly, you're not powerless. Movement is medicine. If this resonated with you, leave a comment below. Your experience might inspire someone else to take their first step. Section 6. Muscle pain as early warning for larger systemic issues. The pain in my legs had become familiar, dull, consistent, and easy to ignore. But over time, I began noticing something else. I was more tired than usual. My appetite had faded. I chalked it up to age again. But when I started getting dizzy and my skin turned slightly yellow, I knew something deeper was wrong. My doctor ordered a panel of blood tests. What came back was a surprise. Early-stage kidney dysfunction. And the muscle pain? It was one of the first signs. I had no idea that reduced kidney function could cause imbalances in calcium and phosphorus, leading to muscle aches and cramps. But it can, and it does. It's not rare, either. Studies show that nearly 17% of adults over 70 experience some form of chronic kidney disease, often undiagnosed. And in many of these cases, the first signs aren't visible. They're felt in the body. Fatigue, muscle soreness, swelling, weakness. These symptoms speak softly, but they mean something serious. After my diagnosis, everything changed. I began managing my diet more carefully. I reduced salt and protein intake. I drank more water. I took walks at a pace that suited me. And I started regular checkups with a nephrologist. Within months, my energy returned and the muscle pain faded too. What shocked me most was how close I'd come to letting it slide. I almost ignored the symptoms entirely. I kept thinking, I'm just getting older. But aging doesn't always hurt. And when it does, especially persistently, it's your body speaking a truth you've been trying not to hear. So if your muscles ache without reason, or if something in your body just feels off listen, don't wave it away. It may not be just age. It may be something deeper, something that can be addressed before it gets worse. Early intervention saved me from serious complications. It might save you too. Section 7. Emotional impact of chronic pain and being heard. For a long time, I kept my pain to myself. Not just the ache in my muscles, but the weight of being dismissed. Every time I brought it up, someone would say, "That's just aging," or "Everyone feels that way after 70." And so I stopped talking about it. I smiled through discomfort. I nodded when people told me to stretch more. I said I was fine when I wasn't. What I didn't realize was how deeply that silence was affecting me. Chronic pain doesn't just wear on the body, it wears on the soul. It isolates you, makes you feel like a burden, like your experience isn't real unless it's validated by someone else. I began to doubt myself. Maybe I was imagining it. Maybe I was just being dramatic. But everything changed the day a young doctor looked me in the eye and said, "You're not crazy. You're not weak." And this matters. That one sentence, it broke something open in me. I cried, right there in the exam room. Not from the pain, but from finally being seen. Pain isn't just a physical experience. It's emotional. It's relational. It affects how you connect with others, how you see yourself, how you move through the world. And when it's ignored, by doctors, by family, or even by yourself, it becomes heavier, louder, crueler. I started attending a local support group. At first, I was hesitant. What could talking do? But it helped. Hearing others name what I was feeling, the frustration, the sadness, the fear, it made me feel less alone. More real, more human. If you're living with chronic pain, I want you to know this. You are not invisible. Your pain is not just age, and you deserve to be heard. Speak up. Keep looking until someone listens. I started attending a local support group. At first, I was hesitant. What could talking do? But it helped. Hearing others name what I was feeling, the frustration, the sadness, the fear, it made me feel less alone, more real, more human. If you're living with chronic pain, I want you to know this. You are not invisible. Your pain is not just age, and you deserve to be heard. Speak up. Keep looking until someone listens.